Back we are from the mother of all gremlins last week that knocked out our show. But we're here now with the Ronnie Hearne Show at First Financial Bank. Good afternoon to you, Mike Young here. Boy, we got a lot of stuff to talk about since we didn't have a chance to talk last week. So where do you want to start?
It's been 2 weeks, and of course last week we went to Kingsville on Wednesday and played Incarnate Word on Saturday. And then, of course, at Cameron last night. So if we want to, we got 3 games we can talk about. Shanae's on her way.
There Shanae is here.
Speak of the devil, and she comes hopping in. And so we'll let her take the middle segment, if you don't mind.
That's good.
So whatever you want to talk about, I guess we'll start with Kingsville.
Well,
and not talk about it too much, but it was a good road win in Kingsville. We got back at 4:30 the next morning, and so it's always a tough road trip, and they're always tough at Kingsville, but I don't remember too much about that game. And then I remember more about the Incarnate Word game. I thought it was a great women's college basketball game. It was fast-paced. Both teams shot the ball well. There was very few turnovers on either team. It was a close game, lead changes, great home crowd. So I like to remember that game a little bit more than last night. And then last night, just a totally different style of basketball. It was more physical.
Well, that's an underestimation. Wow.
It was a different style. I'm not going to say it was one-sided, it was just different. It was called different than most of our games have been called this year. It was just a tremendously physical game. A lot of missed calls on both sides. And, they ran a different defense on us. So where do you want to start? Incarnate Word or Cameron?
Well, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Let's start with Kingsville. We'll work our way up to Incarnate Word. Okay. Kingsville, we saw Peyton Adamson just absolutely go off with 8 3-pointers. And she was hitting anything inside the city limits. She was hitting.
Yeah, I remember Mike one time looking at Coach Wilson on the bench. I said, "Has Peyton missed a shot yet?" And because I couldn't remember missing one. You make 8 out of 10 from the 3-point line.
Well, she made her first set.
You just don't remember the ones that they missed when they make that many.
Yeah. Well, she's so quick anyway. She's kind of a blur to follow. I mean, if you try to track her on the court and just track her every move, you're not going to win. You're going to lose her somewhere.
Right. She gets her shot off so quick, and got such great range. And, she had a great week.
Well, let's go to Incarnate Word, and that was a very even match for that particular game at Wisdom Gym. And really, I think it's probably a good thing that it was played at Wisdom Gym, because I think that gave you enough of an advantage to come up with a win there.
Well, they came in, I think, with 4 losses. We had 3 losses, so it was a big game for both teams. They're up there for consideration in the regional rankings. I'm on the committee, and I can't even remember where they are this week, but I know they're at least in the top 10 in the regional rankings. And so, it was a big game for both teams, and they were definitely a team that was very hard to guard. They ended up shooting 37% from the field.
That's great.
And we shot 60% from the field. Well, I got the wrong stat sheet. We shot 60. I know we shot 69% from the field the second half in that game, and they shot 52% for the game, and we were up there in the 50s. I think both of us had around 9 or 10 turnovers. I know we had 20 assists in that game. Peyton had another big game.
5 more threes.
5 more threes. She's 10 for 10 from the free throw line. I know as far as school records with 10 or more attempts, she tied her coach, Misty Wilson. Misty, I think, was 11 for 11, 2 different games in her career, somewhere in there.
Boy, Nathan would know about that. We'll flag him down a bit or two.
And then she tied her sister, Peyton Adamson, I think, who was 14 one game. Yeah. I don't remember. But I thought that was pretty neat to see her tie her coach's record and her sister's record.
It shows where you can go. You can be just on an absolute high And then last night, you really had to feel bad for Peyton because she couldn't get open, couldn't get a shot off. She only had like 3 shot attempts, had 1 point in the game after having games of 30 and 25. And I just really felt bad for her. She was heading on the bus because she was just demoralized.
And you know, that 1 point came 2 seconds left.
That's right.
Yeah. So, they guarded her 94 feet. They never got off over an inch. And they ran that boxing one. You know, when your players don't play well, they don't play hard, you know, you can't always blame yourself as a coach. But if you're not prepared, you don't prepare your team, then you can definitely blame yourself because that's a coach's job. And I definitely didn't expect a boxing one. No one's ever played that on us. And, I didn't expect it and we weren't prepared. But on the other hand, I told our players this morning before practice, besides Kira, Kira was 7 for 11 from the field, which is a great percentage. The rest of the team was 4 for 30 inside the 3-point line. 4 for 30, that was 13%. So we got the shots. And for whatever reason, we didn't knock them down. And we actually shot over 40% from the 3-point line. So we didn't attack that little 2-2 zone, and Peyton couldn't get open. So, it's smart coaching. They took away one of our strengths, which was Peyton Adamson naturally. And then when Kiara got the ball, it really collapsed. I was surprised when I looked at the stats that she shot that well. She was 7 for 11. But we certainly should have got her the ball more. She probably should have. With Peyton not getting shots, we probably should have got Kiara 20 shots.
Was that boxing one a desperation move on Cameron's part? Maybe giving up hope on trying absolutely anything else and maybe they just pull a rabbit out of their hat?
Well, it worked. Whatever. I don't know what his reasoning was. But it certainly worked.
Because not only did the boxing one, but he pulled 3 of his starters to get it done. Now, I know it was senior night and everything, but he wasn't starting all seniors. He had a freshman in the lineup, not even averaging a point a game. This seemed like a desperation move that somehow clicked.
Well, I looked at the after-game stats, and his bench scored 32 points. And the main reason they did because it was senior night and he didn't start a lot of them. But they played plenty of minutes.
Yeah,
for sure.
Boy, for sure indeed.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at the upcoming schedule here now, since you're going to Allen, Texas. Both the men's and women's programs are going to go there. That's going to be a heck of a lot of fun coming up March 6th through the 9th. And by the way, if you're listening to us here and you haven't made your arrangements all ready to go to Allen, make sure that you get it done and just call the Tarleton ticket office. It's 254, whatever it is, and Nathan knows it and I don't. But call the Tarleton ticket office. They'll set you up with tickets so you can come out to Allen and make all of a sudden the Allen Event Center sound like Wisdom Gym.
Right, and we had great crowds there last year. It's a great facility. The people in Allen do a tremendous job putting on that tournament. And, not just to watch Tarleton, watch the tournament.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of great Division II women and men's basketball, and it'll just be a great weekend for people. Go down there and spend the weekend.
Absolutely. Well, I know we'll be there, that's for sure. And hopefully that'll be a long run. Where does it go after that, though? I don't think we really know. If let's say we win at Allen and we go on to the next round.
Well, before this is over, hopefully you or Nathan have the regional rankings, because those came out yesterday, and we can talk about that a little bit. But
he's getting it right now on his phone.
Okay, I know Mesa. At Grand Junction, Colorado, that's almost on the Utah border. Grand Junction, Colorado.
And here he comes with them now.
Thank you, Nathan. Mesa State is number 1 in the region. So if they stay number 1, whoever wins the Lone Star Conference tournament will be in the national tournament, which will be the South Central region. The first round would be right now in Grand Junction, Colorado.
Okay.
And everybody that wins the conference tournament, there's 3 conferences, the Rocky Mountain, the Heartland, Lone Star Conference. Those 3 teams get automatic bid, and then there's 5 at-large bids. So if you're ranked high enough in the region, and you can also, there's 5 other teams there. So the number 2 ranked team is Abilene Christian, so that wouldn't be a bad trip for the regional tournament.
Not at all.
Abilene Christian, Midwestern's 3rd. Metro State, which is in Denver, is fourth. UT Permian Basin, which wouldn't be a good venue.
I don't want to go there again.
They have bleachers on one side that probably only holds 400 or 500 people. The score clock's in the corner back behind the benches.
This is gremlin heaven.
So I would think if they ever got number one region, they'd have to host it somewhere else, like at Odessa Junior College. Odessa Junior College has a great facility. And then Tarleton State, we're number 6. St. Mary's number 7. Colorado State of Pueblo is number 8. And Incarnate Word 9. Colorado Springs is number 10.
All right. Well, there's a setup now for what could happen after Allen, but not to put the cart before the horse. Still got some regular season games to go. So we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Come on by to First Financial Bank. It's the Ronnie Hearne Show. Plenty of pizza from Papa John's. Also some wings available. Come on by and get yourself a Dr. Pepper, and also to sign up and win some things that we're going to be giving away in just a little while. The Ronnie Hearne Show continues right after this. Back we are at First Financial Bank, the Ronnie Hearne Show, continuing now, and we're on to our MASH unit section of the show now as Shanae Lawrence joins us here. And the first thing that everybody's going to want to know, how are you feeling? How's the knee doing?
It's doing really good, actually. It really hasn't been hurting much at all, even with all the traveling and moving around. I feel like I'm getting more movement than every day. I've been dying to throw my crutches out the car and just be walking around normal, but I feel like I'll be there pretty soon.
That had to be really encouraging for you to be able to make the bus trip, because let's face it, buses are a little bit gaudy sometimes, especially when you have 15, 20 people on them. You have sacks of stuff here and there, but it looks like you negotiated pretty well.
No, I did, and except the aisles are like so small. I was like, okay, I can't carry these crutches. I'm just gonna use the chairs. And we did my physical therapy on the bus, and so I was like squeezed between the seats in the aisle, doing all my leg lifts and all the stuff on the bus. But it actually wasn't that bad.
Wow, no kidding. Physical therapy on a moving bus?
Yeah.
You are dedicated.
Teresa had me on it. She's like, you ready? And I was like, yep. Everyone's like asleep. Like people are like under chairs and stuff. And I was like, excuse me. So I got ready to do my stuff.
Hey, on a side motion here. I wish I had my recorder going last night, because I heard some of the best crowd noise I've ever heard in the bus while you guys were watching a scary movie back there.
Our team's crazy. Were you watching the movie?
Well, you forced me to. I was listening to music, and all of a sudden I heard all these weird sounds and noises, and it forced me to turn it off because I'm going, this is great stuff. Oh, where's my recorder? It's under the bus.
Yeah.
So
we were watching House at the End of the Street.
Yeah.
And it was very scary. And our whole team was like screaming before anything would even happen. So everyone was freaking each other out.
Some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Well, okay, back to you here a little bit. What are some of the things that you're having to do on a daily basis now to get strength back? And how far are they letting you go?
It's all about like getting my muscles back in my quad and stuff mostly. Like all my exercise, he wants me before I can like put pressure and walk fully on it, he wants my muscles to be able to handle it, because I did lose a lot of strength, like not using it for a few weeks. So it's all like tightening my quad, lifting, and then a lot of stretching stuff. Like when I go see him, he like puts my leg up on a block and just like pushes my knee down.
Wow.
And I'm like sweating.
Don't push down so hard.
I'm like, ah, and he's like, it's okay. But then afterwards I can like bend it further and stuff, and they like look at my degree on what degree I'm on and what I need to be. So
wow, that's amazing.
It's good to see improvement. It's encouraging.
Yeah, no kidding. I know you're frustrated because you can't play right now, but what are some of the things you're doing to combat that? Because I know you want to get out of the court, you want to do anything right now, but you're pretty limited. So
I'm going stir crazy. I feel like because you're so used to like running every day, working out, basically hitting people every day, kind of thing. You're getting out a lot of like excess energy and emotions and endorphins flowing, and now I'm like sitting here watching, like going stir crazy. So like I'm on the side like doing crunches and abs and basically anything to like try to get some blood flowing and stuff while I watch them all work out. I'm like, okay, Teresa, what should I do now? And she's like, let's do this, and she'll like make up games for me to do on the sideline to try to get just some muscle strength and stuff.
Have you been given any kind of timetable as to when you can resume any kind of basketball activities?
He said 3 to 4 months is the earliest I can start running. And so, but once I'm able to like fully walk and stuff, I can probably do some set shooting and stuff, just because I can like bend normally, but not any like hard jumping and stuff like that.
Okay, so you really don't know just how much the shock absorber is going to work here just yet.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one thing you always have to worry about for a knee injury, is how much jumping it can take, because rebounding and shot blocking and even going up for shots for that matter, what goes up must come down.
Right.
So I know you can't really tell what's going on right now, but is that something that enters the back of your mind, just how this is going to react?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about it and stuff, and even like walking on it sometimes, because I sometimes like let my crutches go and try to walk to see how it feels. But he says like it doesn't always have to do with my muscle; it has to do with like when that piece they put in there, the patella, is like healed. And so I'm always like, is it gonna give out on me? Am I gonna fall on the floor in a second? Because I'm like, does it have a mind of its own? Because like for all you know, your body thinks that's a rope in your knee. So I'm like, okay, I'll be careful. But I am like, so when can I walk? When can I run? I'm like, when can I do this? And he's like, well, the earliest you could do it is, so it's basically like no set times. It's just however long it takes for my knee to heal.
Well, you and Carly are both on the sideline here, but I guess you have a chance to talk with each other quite a bit, since you have to stay on the bench and everybody else is out stretching, etc. Even though I see Carly out there stretching sometimes.
Yeah, Carly's been warming up with them the past 2 days, so because she's trying to hopefully get her cast off Monday. So she's like, if we go to the regional tournament, maybe I can play in the regional tournament. So she's been running. And today we were talking, and she's like, okay, how many suicides should I do? And I was like, 5. And she's like, what? And I was like, I don't know. We usually do like 3 after a practice, so maybe 5 since you're not going through all the practice. And she's like, we'll start with 4. So, she's trying to stay in shape too. She can do a little bit more than I can since she can run, but hopefully if she gets her cast back, she can recover quick.
After witnessing that carnage that we saw last night, especially all the let them play, non-calls, and inconsistent calls for that matter, I guess you're looking at that from afar and saying, wow, I'm glad I missed this game.
Yeah, except for at the same time, I'm like, man, if we would have been in this game, it could have been totally different. And you think about that with every game, or when your team is struggling, or when they're being like basically punished running and stuff like that for like mistakes, and then you're like, man, like if we were out there, it could have been a different story. Like you can't help but like wonder, and then every time you see someone like get hit or fall on the floor, like I hope nothing happened. Like, or you see someone's like knee bend, you're like, don't bend like that. Like I'm just like biting at the bit watching people play and stuff. But
it must be amazing watching Kiara play, because now all of a sudden she's a leading rebounder in Division II from coast to coast and border to border. She's number 1. She's also tied for first with double doubles. When you went down and when Carly followed you almost immediately, she really took on a lot more load and has really come through a lot there. That says a lot about not only the team, but a lot about her too.
Yeah, and she's always been a good leader for us and such a strong person on the team. Like she's really stepped up more than anyone, because like we need her more than anyone. She's the one down low that's going to be doing the dirty work for us under the basket and stuff. So it's good to see her still being strong under there, no matter like what the game is like.
So how have you been getting to classes now? I know you got crutches to go do this and go do that. We're talking basketball all the time, but since you got the extra help there, does that hinder you at all?
Well, I got hooked up with a handicap sticker, so
oh well.
I was like, heck yeah! So I've been driving all my classes, and so all my classes are basically in the science building, which isn't far. So I only walk like 50 feet, maybe. It's not bad. But my stairs at Texan Village are terrible. I live on the 3rd floor.
Oh, really?
And it's like, I try to like just leave everything in my car. Like I'll even put extra clothes and all my books in my car so I can limit how many times I go up and down my stairs.
Oh, wow.
I know. My mom came though and was here my first week out of surgery, and she was basically like doing everything and going up and down the stairs for me.
Well, see, that'll teach you to go to the 3rd floor.
I know.
Down to the 1st, baby. That's where it is.
I know. That's where I wish we were. It's like I need the handicap room, like, or an elevator or a pulley or something.
Oh, you don't know how many times I asked for an elevator going to a place like Cameron last night. I asked, well, isn't there an elevator here? No, it was just stairs. Oh, boy. Nice. You carry all this stuff up here, and I wasn't feeling very good to begin with, and then you have that. Yeah, I can understand what your dilemma is with that. But what are some of any kind of fun things that you're doing with this?
Probably the most fun week I had was with my mom, because my mom's hilarious. Like, just being around her makes me in a better mood. Like, so I use this, like, instead of using those to go up the stairs, I use the handrails. And she picked me up from class, and we're coming back, and she was like, so these stairs have been here for a long time, right? And I was like, yeah. She's like, a few years, they never get cleaned? And I was like, probably not. And she goes, well...
She's cleaning the stairs?
She goes, I sanitized all the handrails. And I go, what? The public ones? And she goes, yeah, there could be flu on them. The flu virus. And she goes, no, don't worry, no one saw me do it. And I was like, oh my gosh, Mom. I was like, I'm sure people would have thanked you, She was like, well, I just took a bunch of Clorox wipes. I used a lot, but I was just little things she does. And she picked up my water bottle and was like, how do you get this thing to work? And I was like, Mom, you just squeeze it. And she was like, oh, and she squeezed it and water shot out. She's funny. She's just...
So Mom took the Bart Simpson route.
She did.
You didn't see me, you can't prove it. No.
I know. She was here for a whole week too, and she was just then my sister came and I went home to get my stitches out, and she was like, it's all you now, Chloe. You get to take care of it for the weekend, so...
All right, well, hey, thanks for coming down today and give us the update on how the wheel is mending. And for sure, we're looking forward to seeing you next year, and also too at the games this year, and out to Allen. I know you'll be out there for that.
I will.
Shanae Lawrence, everybody. Come on, hang your hands together. Appreciate it. All right, thank you. This is the Ronnie Hearne Radio Show, live from First Financial Bank. It continues after this. Back we are at First Financial Bank for the Ronnie Hearne Show, and time for Ronnie to give a few things away. Go ahead, Coach.
All right, the first winner is Mike Mass, M-A-S, Mike. Where's Mike?
Well, I'm right here. But
Has Mike left the bank? Okay. Oh, there's Mike. Mike, you're a winner.
So, well, thank you very much. What'd I win? He's going to go and pick one of the cards off the board.
Mike's an icon here in Stephenville.
Got himself a Tarleton basketball shirt.
He's one of those that's part of the great generation, fought World War II. Everybody ought to give him a big hand.
Absolutely.
Our other winner is Ken Bailey.
Ken Bailey.
He's from the Harbin community, which is close to...
Oh, he was over by the Wings.
He's close. He lives out close to Lone Oak and Harbin. I think he's the mayor of Harbin now. Okay, good.
Got himself
All
a
right,
window.
got him a cap.
Yep.
All right, that's our two winners.
All right. Well, the remaining time that we have, let's talk about Saturday, because this is a big, big game coming up at Wisdom.
It is. There ought to be a great crowd there supporting Tarleton. I know Midwestern travels pretty well. They're going to have a good crowd. It's not that far. So, you expect Wisdom Gym to be packed. And it's going to be two great Division II college basketball games. And pretty good rivalries between the teams. I know, we kind of had that edge on Midwestern the last 4 or 5 years. But they've really got a good team this year. They lost a couple last week, home games, which
surprising.
I wasn't surprised Abilene Christian beat them because Abilene Christian's really good and playing well.
Right.
But I never expected Angelo to go to Midwestern and win. So that's the tape that Coach Wilson's showing the players right now in the dressing room. And hopefully we can learn something from that. Of course, we'll watch the tape when we played them the first time. And of course, that was the game. I don't know. We want to think about that game very much because that's the game that really kind of changed the makeup of our team.
Yeah, I did.
And we lost Shanae 7 minutes into that game, and then Carly, our first sub at the 2 posts, dislocated her finger and couldn't do much. But she finished that game. And then we found out on Monday it was, her 5th metacarpal was broken and she's got 3 pins in it now. And of course it went down to the end and then went in the overtime and they came out ahead. And that was a big kind of emotional setback for our team right there, losing 2 quality kids like that for the season. But I think we've really done a good job regrouping. We've won a lot of games since then. We've won some tough games since then. I think we went to Eastern, where a lot of teams have lost at Eastern, New Mexico, and won down there. Of course, we went to Kingsville and won. Beat a really good team in Incarnate Word. We've played some good basketball since that point, but we've had to make some adjustments. And, other teams go through that, and you just got to adjust and keep playing basketball and keep working hard and keep getting better.
Well, not only it's going to be Midwestern State at Wisdom Gym Saturday night, but it's Packet Purple Night.
Okay.
Anything you got that's purple, you wear it, no matter what it is. Slippers, that's fine. Purple
That's
slippers
right.
are
Purple
good.
hair.
Purple what?
Purple hair, wigs. Anything that's purple.
Well, I could get my hair purple, but
You'd probably look good. Yeah.
oh, brother. Okay.
Where else do you want to go?
It's Gordon night. Oh, bring a pair of socks, get free popcorn.
That's great.
Who came up with that idea? Bring a pair of socks, do you have popcorn?
Do they have to be new or clean or what?
They better be clean. My goodness.
They're going to be donated to Stingwell ISD, and they're going to distribute them.
Donate to Stephenville ISD. And, okay, well, all right.
So it'd probably be good if they were at least clean, probably.
Please.
Okay. Good.
Packet Purple Night. Maybe I'll bring an old Prince CD or something like that, since he was, Purple Gang and all that.
That'd be great.
So yeah, we'll find all kinds of purple stuff and we'll wear it out there.
But Midwestern women, of course, we know really have a good team. I guess we're tied now in the loss column. We both lost 4. ACU lost 3. So there's a lot to play for both teams. They're athletic. They run the floor well. They rebound well. They shoot the ball well. They've got pretty good depth on their team. They'll press quite a bit. They'll change their defenses. So, it's going to be a good college women's basketball game Saturday night. And then, of course, the men. It's always a big game for our men. So
Yeah.
Be a great night because we're about to run out of home games. We got one more.
That's right.
Next Wednesday against Eastern New Mexico, which will be the final home game.
That's right. Well, for this Saturday, let's fill the place. Let's not leave any seat vacant at Wisdom Gym. Come on out to Wisdom this Saturday night. Midwestern State's in. That should get you in there already. Of course, the women, they've got a lot to play for. The men have got a lot to play for. These are 2 really, really big games. So come on out and see that. And of course, we'll have the game for you here on the Mighty 93 as well. But we want to see you here too.
Definitely, Mike.
All right, Ronnie.
All right, thank you.
We will see you on Saturday, sir.
Okay.
It's been the Ronnie Hearne Radio Show live from First Financial Bank. And we will do it again next Thursday. But we want to see you at Wisdom this Saturday. The airtime, is that a 5 o'clock game, sir? 5 o'clock. So 4:45 the airtime here on the Mighty 93. We'll see you then.